Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Monday, September 8th. With me on the mic, I have a fabulous co host, I Chill. Hey, boo.
Hey.
Hello. And so today is actually very, very special because I have to say, it's not every day that one of your close friends gets featured on Beyonce's website.
Whoop,
Yes, you
whoop.
heard me right. Featured on Beyonce's website, honey. Now, and this is not just a friend, but this is a friend to the show who has been here as well. So those of you who have heard before Moderna, I have him with me. Hey, boo.
What up? What up? What
Applause.
up?
Yay, honey. Well, first of all, let me get the link so we can so the audience can see what we're talking about.
All
So I
this
have
fabulousness.
hello. So I have the direct link here. I'm going to post it, and let me also share my screen so we could just go straight to the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, let's
Looking
see, let's see.
delectable.
So I think I need to give a little bit of context. So for those who don't know, my friend Moderna is actually a card carrying man. So, friend, you are on Beyonce's website.
Can
A
you believe?
You, how do
platinum
you feel?
card.
Can
Platinum.
First off, how do I feel? I feel like can't nobody tell me shit. Okay, and I hate to say it that way, but I really feel like you're gonna have to go backwards. Go backwards to when she was wearing the 4, the agent provocateur. Yes, 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 yes. Um, I just
Thank
feel
you, boo.
I feel so happy. It was right after once she put the 4. Keep scrolling to the right. Scroll to the right. When she put the 4 jersey on, so she had the agent provocateur, and then she put a 4 jersey on, and she about to show her ass because she was jiggling that booty, and
Yes.
then that's when I see myself. But I feel amazing. I feel amazing. I always said that Beyonce knows me. I've always said that she
There it
has,
is.
bam, that she has seen me. She's winked at me at Formation World Tour. I know at Renaissance she heard me screaming and chuckled at Cowboy Carter when she was doing the Sacred Salon. She gave me a look like this dude is crazy.
I've
So
seen him before. He be at all my concerts.
Yeah. So
In the front and center too, baby.
listen. So I know in my spirit, Beyonce knows me. She knows me.
She know you. That's why she put you on there. Cause I know him. Look at our baby.
She knows you as well, indeed. And we have a question in the chat. Like, what were you doing when you learned that you were on the website?
Child, now get into this tea, okay? Because Beyonce doesn't tag you when she throws you on her website. Beyonce, and that's the one thing I was telling my friend that's in the photo with me, because me and him we was gagged. So just to be very clear, we were definitely gagged. And I was like, friend, look at your skin. Look at my skin. Look at the smile. Look at the color scheme that the photographer, that camera woman chose when she took that photo. I was like, and it's so funny because when we were in the front row, of course, we were in the live boogie VIP section. That's what we were doing. We were living our VIP life. And when we were there, I saw the camera woman come up to us. I saw her starting to snap photos, and so at one point I was like, "Jay, stop! Look, like let's look at the photos." And we're like, I was like, Des, come on, come on, come on. So we took a photo, and then we just kept going, and she disappeared. And then I'm assuming that when she disappeared, that's when she started taking this shot, because usually they try to catch you in action, like clearly
Candid.
in awe.
Mm-hmm.
They want a
Mm-hmm.
candid photo. And the same thing went for the video. This videographer came by, saw me and my friend, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, hey, and I waved, and he was like, no, 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 keep watching, keep watching. I was like, okay, child, because you here, but they're going to be. Like, so me and Dez is my friend that's with us. He goes by Dez. Me and Dez had assumed that we were going to end up in the documentary whenever it posts. Because I know for certain that they have recorded for a documentary. When I was at the Vegas show, they had all kinds of like really industrial level equipment both nights. And I had talked to one of the cameramen and I was like, I ain't see this kind of equipment at the Houston show. Like, what y'all got going on? It was like, well, we be filming because B loves a good documentary. I was like, okay, now, okay, well, I can't wait for the Cowboy Carter documentary. So we had assumed, like, oh, we might end up on there, just
Oh,
maybe, right?
you might.
Might, but we never thought like, oh, we'll be on her website. And on Beyonce's Instagram, she posts photo recaps, right? But she only posted photo recaps of herself. So of course I liked it and was like, yeah, girl, leaving comments. I comment under every photo on her page because again, Beyonce knows me, and I need her to know that she know me. So I got to make, put little quips. Well, I was on Twitter because that's what I'm gonna call it. As Mama called it Twitter, as Daddy called it Twitter, I'm gonna call it Twitter. So I was on
Damn
Twitter,
right.
period. And one of the Beehive fan pages was like, finally she released the Vegas photos. And I was like, oh, she released the Vegas photos. So I start searching through the Vegas photos. And I was like, man, I remember this. I was on the floor. Like, this was amazing. And then, we had the Destiny's Child moment at night two. We had Jay-Z, we had Shabuzi. I'm looking at all the photos. And something just clicked and said, well, go look at Houston. Like, you haven't looked at the Houston photos. And so I'm scrolling through, thinking nothing of it. Get to the agent provocateur. I'm like, yes, that outfit was so mother. She's never worn this outfit anywhere else but Houston Night 2. I said she did the same thing during Renaissance when it was Virgo's Groove. Houston Night 2, she gave us the red outfit with the fingerprints. She never wore that anywhere else. I'm like, okay, mother, you're giving us special shit. I see you. And then all of a sudden, I scroll and see my fan. And I said, well, hold. Oh. So I kept scrolling because I was like, maybe I'm going blind. Maybe I'm stupid. I might be delusional.
That's
I've been
somebody else. That's somebody else with
got
that
to be
fan.
somebody else because I've been in delusional high for so long. So I scroll forward, then I scroll back, and then I get back to the photo. I'm like, well, hold on. That's me. And immediately, I'm literally traveling for work. I'm in my hotel. It's it's Friday. Like I'm like, I ain't doing that much today. Like we're just gonna have a good day. And I just start screaming. I start screaming. Like I literally couldn't contain myself. I was just like, ah! Like it was that bad. Then I started like really breathing heavy. I was just like, like, I cannot believe this. Like, this is no way. There's no way. And then I teared up, didn't cry, but I did tear up because I was just like, oh my God. She like really chose me. She knows me and she chose me. And then I
No,
called that.
seriously, because I think non-hive needs to understand, like, this is the equivalent of Beyonce, like, putting your baby picture on her website and telling you happy birthday. Like, this is huge.
Make it
So,
very clear. Like, I mean, it's one thing to go to a concert and have her like wink at you in the middle of the crowd, right? And
Hmm.
everybody around it sees that she winked at you. That was formation. It's another thing to go to Renaissance and be in the front row, scream her name, she look at you and chuckle, right? Because then it's like, okay, she get my personality. She know I'm crazy. Like, and she's living for it. It's another thing for her photo team to send her photos and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, um, what do you want? Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Something just happened. Oh, chat. But it's another thing for her photo team to send her photos, like we saw on her documentary, and she goes through and selects the photos that gets uploaded.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's
Out of the
her choice.
thousands she must see
That
of
is,
all the
and she
people.
has to see so many photos each
Yes.
time. And out of all those photos, she chooses the one that was taken of me and my friend. Like that's just amazing because then it tells me, and you know that lady of Virgo, she a perfectionist down. So it's like, okay, me and my friend were serving bad bitchery,
And
had to
she
be,
see you. She see you. You've
and
been to
she,
so many of her shows. She sees you. And I think this is her way of rewarding the loyalty of her fans. I would
yeah,
imagine the other photos of people that have been to other shows as well, more than one. You know what I'm saying? You
yes,
go to the same show in different states. I mean, you are a true fan, and I love this for you, baby. And you look the fuck good. You hear
oh,
me?
thank you so
Just
much, thank you so
chocolate,
much,
chocolate, delectable,
baby.
baby.
Me and Dez
Yes,
was
Lord.
cracking up. We was like, this photo eats down. And Dez was
Yep.
like, you already know, because she ain't gonna put no late bitch on her website. She ain't about to
That's
put
right.
nobody late on her website. You got to be bringing the heat to be on her website, okay? This is Beyonce.com. She's not putting anything that's not good quality on her website. And
No
that day,
way.
we were serving quality, okay? Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
woman.
Yes, you are. You
Mm,
serving, baby. You serving.
Quality bad bitches, honey, seeing Beyonce. And shout out to Dez. I had the pleasure of meeting him through when the first time I met you in person. When
yeah,
where was it out in New York City Pride?
yeah,
Really, really, really
yeah.
nice guy. And another bad bitch. So shout out to Dez. And honey,
Oh,
like I just know y'all are in a position where no one could tell you, but neither of you. I know no one could tell
Nothing.
y'all anything.
literally
Bow
not.
down, bitches. Bow down.
Bow down, bitches. Okay. Listen. My favorite song off Renaissance is "Move," and what she said, "Move out the way." When a queen comes through, part like the rest, stay. Okay. Oh my gosh. That woman. I love her so much. And I love the fact that I hate to say like it validates me, but it does. It does. I'm like, oh,
It does. It's
Beyonce thought
nothing.
I was cute.
Yeah, it does. It does. She knows you.
Baby. Baby. Mm, mm.
She see you, baby. She see you at her shows.
Okay. And I
No,
would
that
eat.
feeling is appropriate. You should definitely feel like that because, like you said before, Beyonce is a perfectionist, and she don't just put any regular degular bitch on her shit.
No,
So,
no. That's not how she's doing it out in these streets. She's not doing it like that. And I will say this, like I said, I ate in that. Those shades, because it's like, why am I wearing shades at a concert that's already a little dark, right? But those shades, those were Pradas that I bought
Oh,
the year before when I was on my trip in Barcelona.
Prada.
So, okay, so Miss
nice.
Prada had me eating. And then my dad was like, where you get that hat? Like that hat just looks so good. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes Bezos, House of Bezos eats. I'm like, sometimes House of Bezos has a cute little collection.
Oh my gosh.
But yes, I was living for that photo. That camera woman, she caught the angle. She got it. And
Mm-hmm.
if you scroll just a little bit further, Auntie,
Hmm.
this is where the Aries comes out of the both of us. If you scroll just a little bit further, not all the way past the photo, but just show the whole photo, you'll see that my fan is blocking a particular individual.
Yes, we see that.
So that woman, let me tell you about her. That particular woman. So mind you, front row, it's gated, right? Like, I mean, not gated, but there's like a barrier so that way the camera crew can walk through, especially when the
Uh-huh.
stage is coming through. All the dancers can come down and come off or whatever. Because I also was yelling at the dancers, right? Like, I yelled at Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy waved to me that night. I was yelling at the dancers, hyping them up. I ended up getting seeing the dancers at the Vegas show and ended up following Justin. Me and Justin follow each other now. It's like, okay, so they got to barrier us off because if not, I'd be right there at the stage. Okay, like you don't put that barrier, baby. I'm touching the stage. Sorry, can't not touch it. Okay, so as we're doing that, people are front row. We're all standing up. Like none of us are sitting down. One, the seats are tiny. I'm a large human. And also, like, it's Beyonce. I'm not standing. I mean, I'm not sitting for nothing. I'm on this floor. I'm going to stand. I need my camera to be in her face. Okay? I need to see her skin clearly. And I need her to know that I am here. Now, that woman, because I'm trying to be nice since we're being recorded. That woman, okay, mm,
I'm
she,
sorry.
she kept like inching over. And it's like, girl, we don't even have a lot of room here. This barrier is already up against us. And and they have another barrier all the way at the very end that they keep up to allow a clear walkway so people can walk into the pits because we weren't on the pit. We were at the very front row on the floor, but we weren't on the pits or in the pits. So it's like, girl, we ain't got enough room here. You got one other woman of the Caucasity on the other side of Des, who she's annoyed, keeps doing all this other stuff, and Des is like, I want to swing. I'm like, well, don't. We're not here to be violent because there's too many videos of the Beehive members being violent during Cowboy Carter. They've been bucking and they've been bucking down. Okay, they've been really bucking at this tour. So don't. And then I got this woman also coming up against me. So I'm like, girl, every now and then, I'm having to shift my body, throw a little weight on her to be like, back up, sis. Like, just slide over. Slide over. So every time I had the moment to clack that fan, open it wide, I would do it and make sure to block her face. And now, as you can see, the camera woman caught it too. She was like, oh, I see you two. You
I
two are
know she
beautiful.
mad. If she
But
looked
I'm
at these
also going to
photos,
catch this shady moment in and of itself.
I
Because
love
if
it.
she went to that website and scrolled through the photos, she would know that that's her. But she would
Uh-huh.
also know that no one else knows that that's her.
I know that's firecracker hot, baby. She like, he blocked my face. Oh my
And
God.
I don't care. I have no cares.
Yeah, you stole her moment, baby.
Good.
Good, good.
Good.
That's what
Trying
First
her
of
to
all, it
ass
wasn't
push
even
up.
her
get.
moment to have. Okay. That
No,
moment
trying
was
to
me and Dez's.
put you out, push up on you and get you out the way. What's wrong with her?
She lost her mind. And I'm like, girl, we're all having to shift back left and right, right? Because we weren't at the very front or top of the guitar star. So we weren't at the very top where we could just see everything, and every time she comes to the middle, we see her right in front of us. We're on the side. So it's like we're gonna have to shift to the right, our head, so we can see her when she's upstage. We're gonna have to shift to the left, our head, to see her when she's downstage. And when she's downstage, we catching like the left side of her face and her back because she's facing the front of the crowd. So it's like, girl, we've got to do a lot of shifting on this barrier, and then you're doing the most by shifting over into me. I shouldn't be
Mm-mm,
feeling your elbow. Okay,
mm-mm.
I know it's a lot of pluff. I know it's a lot of cushion on this body, this big body, but that don't mean plop your elbow in it.
Yeah,
Now
she
if
Hmm.
got
I
what she
elbow
deserved.
you, or if I clack you with my fan, you're gonna be upset. So let's keep it copacetic. But see, God's favor, I got my lick back. Got my lick back.
The
That's
best
right.
shady moments.
Love it. Love it.
I love it indeed, honey. And we have one last question in the chat, and this is a good one. Now, other than the fact that you love her, because I'm sure she knows that already, but it
Yes.
says, Moderna, if Beyonce hears or watches this podcast, what message would you want to tell her?
Oh, oh my. Oh, that's so on the okay. Oh, first, well, I already captured that I love her, so I don't need to repeat that, but I will. I love you. Second, that continue to inspire people to be great because she is literally the greatest performer of our time. And I say our time because I haven't been here during all the times. Okay, I'm sure there are other great performers during all the other times. But in my time, she's the greatest performer. And the way that she continues to elevate, evolve, and continue to grow herself inspires other people to do the same. So just keep being that inspiration for everybody else. Cause you're that girl. Beyonce, you really are that girl. Mm,
Well,
mm-mm.
that's a really good thing to say. But even in my time, I watched Beyonce, from the beginning when she was little Destiny's Child, and the first time I saw her, I said, "This girl is going to be a star." But I had no idea of the scope of, the talent that she
Mhm.
would continue to evolve, and how her music, everything she does, has a story. It's always a connection to our ancestors. I mean, she has honed her craft and interweave this storytelling to a point that no one else has done. And to see her from where she began to who she is now, you can't help but admire this woman's talent, her mind. Her music has evolved. Just the thing, everything she puts into it, her dancing, her outfits. No one, no one is equaling that. Um, in
Not
in
at this
in
moment,
this
that's for
time,
sure. Mm-mm.
she's been a force, for a long time, and it's only getting, more so. So I even have to give her props. And I've been around a minute, so you know, I think she's one of the most influential artists of
Yes.
her time, from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning until now. I got to
Mm-hmm.
give it to her.
She's
I
been.
never been to one of your concerts, baby, because um, if I go, I want to hear you sing and not the audience sing. So I'll just listen to your albums, and watch you on Twitter and your live music. Coachella was just awesome. So yeah, that's
That's
my
smart
lane.
because the audience do be singing at the concerts and they be like,
Yeah, they do, and I
and
and I love that for
I'm one of them.
them. That's great. I'm not. Y'all have fun, but that's not my lane. But yeah, yeah, I do love watching her perform. So I don't miss too much, but I just can't. I can't, and the people be off key, and I want to have to slap somebody in the mouth, and I just can't be
Mm-mm.
doing that.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to
No,
do
we can't do that. So
that.
I'll just stay at home, and watch it and catch all the, audio, the way it's supposed to be.
Well, honey, and also just to add to that, Beyonce, you should know that my friend was about to beat my ass because when I called your latest album, Cowboy Carter Clan Music, now I could tell this bitch wanted to punch me in the face, but you know what? She was like, I think she took a deep breath. Moderna took a deep breath. Was like, friend, we were the ones who did country music first.
Yes, I appreciate you. And it's
Uh-huh.
about growth. It's about growth and helping to educate our friends. And for what it's worth, you do like a few songs on there.
I do
Yeah,
indeed.
you
Yes,
Yes,
changed your mind. You
yes.
can't
I
deny her
did.
talent. You really can't.
No, and honestly, I knew exactly how I actually knew that because one thing about country music is that when you can like break into it, you can do it. And but long story short, Simon Cowell actually woke that up on season 4 of American Idol when he told Carrie Underwood that she was going to be the like she was going to be the highest selling American Idol out there. And he's right because one thing about country music is that when your music is good, it sells in that community.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew she was gonna like make so look at what happened with Darius Rucker and Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah,
Like they set
yeah,
records and stuff. So I now even though country music is not my thing, I knew
right.
from the beginning that it was gonna. I knew she was gonna do. And it's Beyonce. She always does great things. So let's,
Hmm.
yeah.
And country music is popular among a lot of different ethnic groups. There are cowboys in every country, basically. You know,
Hmm.
black, white, brown, however you want to call it. Cowboys, that was a lifestyle before we became modern. So yeah, there are a lot of people out there who love country music, and from the modern to the twang twang of the old time country songs, crying in your beer and all of that. So yeah, no surprise that she still set records with a country album. I love that for her.
Word, honey, that Queen Virgo. Well, I have to Moderna, honey. I know you just like he said earlier that this bitch be traveling for work, and so I know you are extremely busy. So thank you, thank you, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and even talk about your experience, honey. I feel like I was there with you. So and thank you for that little piece of tea about that lady you had to block out with your fan. Thank you for that as well.
That's
But
an
thank you so
Yeah.
exclusive,
much,
friend.
honey.
That's an exclusive.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for coming, Moderna. Love hearing it.
Did anybody want to ask Moderna any more questions before we get with the team? All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
Oh, I don't know if we can do better, but tea time.
Absolutely, because the tea in the news is so boring compared to that. But we
All
still gonna
right.
try anyway.
Screaming.
Well, speaking of Beyonce, honey, Chris Brown had a message for people who compares like him to Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and all the other greats and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, girl. Anyway. But he has every right to say what he's gonna say. That don't mean I have to hear it. But
Oh,
y'all see, I
okay.
shared this link from Vibe, and you see where it says Chris Brown gives honest opinion on Beyonce, Usher, and Michael Jackson comparisons. So yes, child. Yesterday he took to Instagram on his honest opinion, and it says this, verbatim, honest opinion. Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and Usher are all the best superstars in lanes of their own. Back in the day, music was individuality, and we were able to be inspired by all the artists from the past because they were the best versions of their creativity without debates on who's better. I see a lot of podcasts and debates on who's better. And the truth is that we all shine bright in our own way. I'll never say I'm a better anything. I'm just being the best Chris Brown. In some way, shape, or form, these artists have influenced me to go hard and never give up. I just want to be recognized for helping people with my gifts. Michael Jackson will forever be the GOAT, and that's not even arguable. Hopefully, what we have accomplished individually with with spark the minds and hearts of the next generations after us. We have an obligation to keep this art form alive. Love y'all. Thank you for reading this long ass message. Okay.
Okay. Well, he didn't say nothing stupid. Okay, that's we'll allow it.
Look, that's how you know it won't his words. That was the words of his publicist. Because it
Talk
won't
about it.
stupid.
Wake it up. Definitely one of his words. That was Chat GPT.
Allegedly, allegedly.
Hmm. Okay, Chris.
Yeah. So, but yeah, when I saw when I saw the headline, I was like, "Oh Lord, he done said something." But then I read, I was like, it "Won't that bad?"
Well, yeah, it
Especially coming
wasn't.
from him. That's why I don't think it was from him, but I could be wrong.
Mm-mm. No, that was from Chat GPT. Mm-hmm.
Not ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That did sound kind of AI-ish, didn't it?
Okay, it sounds very, very PC. Very PC from him.
Hmm. He know better than to talk crazy
True.
about
I
those people.
I just hate, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I just really hate that he feels like he can even hold a candle to those people in that same like Beyonce, Usher, and Michael Jackson, honey. I don't. I really hate that Chris Brown even thinks he's comparable to them. Like, oh, they all shine bright in their own lane. Yes, bitch, and you not even in that lane. You cokehead, but I mean, but people seem to love him because he can do a flip on beat. I can't stand the sound of his singing,
And you know,
but
Now, now,
the
see,
thing is,
Auntie, see.
his lane, his lane is blocked. Okay, there's a barrier.
Shut down for
There's a
construction.
barrier there. It's
Orange
still
cones.
orange cones. Construction is still up. It's not fully complete. It's not fully complete. Whereas the lane of all those other artists are one, highway lanes. Okay, they're speeding through success in life. Speeding. And he's stuck in the construction zone trying to continue to build his lane and hopefully repair his reputation. For me, for me, he will always be, like you said, Auntie, addicted to coke and an abuser.
Yeah,
But for a lot
forever.
of humans out here, they are just like, we don't care.
They don't
We
care.
want to go see him flip on stage. And so, enjoy spending your money to do that stuff. That's good for y'all.
And to be honest, he's not the worst vocalist. He does, have some abilities. He can dance. I mean, he's
He has a
talented.
voice. He has a
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, he's talented, but just in light of all the things that he's done, I mean, I wasn't a Chris Brown fan in the beginning. I remember seeing him when he first came out in the comparisons to Michael Jackson, and he was talented, but he's not my lane. But I'm not going to take that from him. But yeah, he's not in the caliber of these other people. They have long, storied careers, and he's still on the journey. But people still like him, and I guess that's okay. But I would never be one to, pump him up like that. But okay.
I'm gonna take it away from his ass, honey. I can't stand the sound of his voice. It sounds like two cats fucking out back. I can't stand it. It's like nails on
Ah!
chalkboard.
And a
What?
lot of his music sounds alike. It's all like in a little box, a long
Yeah.
box that he's traveling. He doesn't venture too
It's
much
like
outside of that.
He
And
doesn't have a lot of variety.
no, no, he doesn't do anything other than that little formula that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And
But then he
it's
doesn't have the right.
given. No, he don't have a range. Now if he was doing something a little different, maybe so, but no, he's too same for me.
And that's why his lane will consistently stay under construction. It'll never be finished.
No.
child, that part. Does anybody want to add anything else about Coke Brown before we go on?
No, dear. We're gonna leave it at that. Allegedly, Cobra.
Oh, I think my audio went out, guys, y'all.
Yes,
But
it's back now.
yay! Well, our next story, and I hope it doesn't go out because there's a lot of information in this story, honey. But so y'all remember we talked here before about Keith D, the man that's currently on trial for his role in Tupac's murder.
Yes,
So he's actually saying that Diddy put out $1 million hit on Tupac.
I've heard
And
that.
there's details in USA Today about how it all went down. So y'all
Hmm.
see I just shared that link here and you see the headline, man charged in Tupac Shakur's death claims Sean Diddy Combs put out $1 million hit. So as members of two California gangs poured out of a Las Vegas boxing match in September 1996, Tupac Shakur, the most famous rapper in the country at the time, sucker punched a rival. The I hope I didn't. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. The man hit the ground and the mob attacked. Shakur, along with Death Row Records executive Marion Suge Knight and members of the Blood Street Gang, beat the victim until security showed up. The man declined medical treatment and wouldn't tell the police what happened, but he did tell his uncle, Dwayne Keith D. Davis. Davis, a leader of the Crip Street gang, wanted to help his nephew get revenge, but in a Drug Enforcement Administration report detailing a secret police interview obtained by USA Today and filed in court earlier this year, Davis said he had another reason to go after Shakira and Knight. Sean Diddy Combs had placed a $1 million bounty on the two men's heads. Hours after the beatdown at the hotel, Shakira was not shot in a drive-by. He died several days later. Knight was grazed in the head and survived. Davis was charged with Shakira's murder in 2023. The allegation that Combs had put out hits on Shakira and Knight was highlighted in a filing by Davis's lawyers later that year, around the same time federal investigators targeted Combs for a host of unrelated crimes. Two more accusations that Combs was involved in Shakira's death have surfaced in records filed as part of a recent spate of civil suits against Combs. That he bragged about ordering the hit and that he may have paid for the rented Cadillac used in the drive-by shooting. Tupac's murder and that of rival rapper Biggie Smalls, who was fatally shot in March of 1997, have been scrutinized for nearly 3 decades, both in the media and in the courts. The killings have spawned conspiracy theories of cover ups, hitman, and cops on gangbangers' payrolls. USA's Today reviews of the previously secret law enforcement and grand jury files, along with court records in civil cases against Combs, provide new insight into his alleged involvement in a murder for hire and the violent hip hop rivalry that preceded it. Combs, who is 55 years old, has not been charged in connection with Tupac's death and has repeatedly denied involvement. A spokesperson for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department told USA Today Combs has never been a suspect in Tupac's murder. I'm gonna just skip this part because it's talking about his sex trafficking charges and stuff, which we've talked about to death here. So I'm just gonna skip
To
that.
death. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, let me see. Let me just go straight down to where it says so it asks the question, why was Tupac Shakur shot? The murders of Tupac and Smalls, whose real name was Christopher Wallace, was also and who also performed under the moniker the Notorious B.I.G., largely defined 90s hip hop and roared the music industry. Tupac and Smalls were among the most influential artists to top mainstream music charts, rapping about growing up poor and black in crime-ridden neighborhoods. At the time of his death, Tupac was signed to West Coast record label Death Row, run by Knight, and reportedly affiliated with the Blood Street Gang. Smalls had a contract with Combs Bad Boy Records based on the East Coast and allegedly connected with the rival Crip gangs. Both murders went unsolved for decades. No one has ever been charged with Smalls' homicide, and the man widely believed to have committed it has since died. Prosecutors in Clark County, Nevada, have described Davis, who is charged with killing Tupac, as the man who called the shots for the Southside Crips street gang in Compton, California. They allege that although Davis did not pull the trigger, he is responsible because one of his underlings did so at his command. Davis has pled not guilty and is awaiting trial. As part of his defense, his lawyers filed records detailing interviews he did with law enforcement officers in 2008, 2009. The defense filings say the murder charge should have been thrown out because Davis was granted immunity in exchange for telling investigators what he knew about Tupac's murder. Those documents, along with transcripts and testimony before the grand jury that indicted Davis, reviewed by USA Today and made public by the court after his arrest, detail the circumstances surrounding the murder and the allegations that Combs was involved. Davis's 2019 book, Compton Street Legend, and a 2003 civil suit filed by former Bad Boy president make similar claims. According to those sources, here's how the dispute that led up to Tupac's death unfolded. So here we go, y'all. In 1994, Tupac was on trial in New York on charges of first degree sexual abuse. He was not in custody and needed money, so he agreed to record a guest track for the artist Little Sean. When Tupac arrived at Manhattan's Quiet Recording Studios for the session, three men shot him 5 times during an attempted robbery. Combs and Smalls were upstairs at the time, and Tupac later claimed that they were acting strangely. The relationship further deteriorated after Tupac's trial ended with a guilty verdict and a prison sentence. Tupac, who has gotten an advance from Interscope Records, needed more money, but Interscope refused to give him any. Seeing an opening, Knight negotiated with Interscope's president to take over Tupac's contract and bring him to death row, according to grand jury testimony from Reggie Wright Jr., a former cop who worked security for Knight. After the deal was done, Knight put up a bond of more than 1 million so Tupac, who had been convicted by a jury despite claims of innocence, could be released while his appeal was pending. At the 1995 Source Awards, Knight touted Tupac's move to death row and insulted Combs, who often performed alongside bad boy artists. And we know that famous saying, any artist out there that want to be an artist and want to stay a star and won't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the records, dancing, come to death row. Knight said. The remark was a tantamount to one gang leader threatening another's territory, said Greg Kading, a retired Los Angeles detective who investigated Small's case after it went cold. Involved in a Wright told the grand jury. I was there, standing right there, Wright testified. And Combs approached Knight like, hey, what's going on? Why are you dissing me in front of everybody like that? Um, In September of 1995, Knight's friend Jay Hassan Jamal, or they call him Big Jake Robles, was fatally shot outside of a party in Atlanta attended by both Knight's crew, and Combs's. After that, Davis and the Southside Crips agreed to provide security for Combs when he needed to travel from New York to enemy territory on the West Coast, Davis wrote in his book. Combs has denied involvement in the shooting and affiliation with the Crips. At a California stop on the 1995 Summer Jam tour, where Smalls and other hip hop artists performed, about 40 Crips protected Combs's groups, according to Davis. Davis told a joint state and federal task force that night was the first time Combs expressed a desire to have Knight and Shakur killed. Combs allegedly said something along the lines of he would give anything for those dudes' head, according to a DEA report summarizing the 2008 task force interview, which Kading attended. Later, Davis says in his book, he got a call from one of Combs's East Coast associates, Eric Von Zip Martin. Using Combs's nickname at the time, Martin said, yo, Puff said he needs to meet with you. Come meet us at Greenblatt's Deli on Sunset. At the Los Angeles Deli, the group sat on the patio smoking marijuana. When Davis went inside to order a pastrami sandwich, Combs followed. The two stepped away from the counter to speak privately. Davis wrote that Combs referred to Knight and Tupac saying, I have a couple of problems I need handled. Big CEO and Pac. Davis said the bounty was $1 million, according to the DEA report. The same claim had been made in a 2003 lawsuit by former Bad Boy president Kirk Burroughs. A judge quickly threw out Burroughs' suit, which also accused Combs' involvement in Robles' death. Since being charged with Tupac's murder, Davis has attempted to walk back his statements. He now says his book was largely written by a co author and he hasn't even read it, which we talked about here in the show. Davis also recently claimed he was at home in Los Angeles, not in Vegas, on the night Tupac was shot. Kading later wrote in his own book about his team's cold case investigation. He said he wasn't sure at the time what to make of Combs' alleged statement about wanting Knight and Tupac killed. How do we interpret that? The retired detective said in the interview. Did he really intend that, or was he just talking out of fear and desperation? Back then, police were unable to find any evidence to corroborate Davis's story about, and Kading thought Davis may have misinterpreted Combs' statements. But the recent rash of allegations against Combs has given the retired detective pause. We're starting to see a different side of Combs than most of our impressions were back in the 90s and early 2000s. Um, he said, a little more calculated, a little more maniacal. I think I just said that word wrong, but oh well. I'm slight.
Hmm.
It was a EO mechanical child. Don't give me.
Maniacal.
Thank you, boo, because
Maniacal.
I was gonna spend all day trying to pronounce that word. He said, I'm slightly shifting towards maybe there was more intention than I originally considered. And in 2011, the year Caden's book was published, Combs denied ordering a hit, telling LA Weekly, "This story is pure fiction and completely ridiculous." There's actually more, lots more in here, but I think we got the gist of it.
Yeah.
That and I believe it. I believe it. I believe we all remember the famous East Coast West Coast rivalry.
Yes.
So I believe it. And then the fact that it was thrown out with like we know we've seen and we've heard in court when like I said because when I said that we uh read his sex trafficking federal case to death, we literally did that, read that thing from top to bottom. And in it we learned that he does use his influence to cover things up. So he probably could have paid that judge off allegedly to drop that case from
Hmm.
2003 that
Sure.
that initially said that he had something to do, and that number is very specific because both of them said $1 million.
Money talks, baby.
Hmm. But
And he
who
had it.
child?
He's a lot more devious than he's been accused of being, that's for sure. The little charges they got him on, baby. Yeah, he's done a lot more dirt than that, I believe.
Hmm. And I believe. Well, that's that on that. I'm sure this is not going to be the last we've heard of this. So, did anybody want to add anything else before we go to the next story? All right. Well, this next story, y'all. So remember the girl who, well, the lady who accused Jay Z of sexually assaulting her by way of Diddy, and she filed it anonymously as a Jane Doe.
The lady that was with Tony Busby.
Busby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Well, she's saying that if her identity is revealed, then her life will be ruined. So,
Oh, girl.
yes. So
What?
y'all, uh-huh. So y'all see, I just shared this all hip hop article. It's an exclusive. Jay Z accuser says her life will be ruined if identity is revealed.
Hmm.
Oh, child. So Jay Z is pressing forward with his $20 million defamation lawsuit in Alabama federal court, while the woman who accused him of sexual assault and later dropped the case is now pleading to remain anonymous, citing fears for her mental health and safety. The woman, known only as Jane Doe, is begging the judge to keep her identity sealed. Her legal team says revealing her name could cause irreversible psychological harm. From a psychiatric standpoint, the forced disclosure of her identity in this context would have catastrophic consequences for her mental health, said Dr. John T. Olson, Dole's psychiatrist. Such public exposure would destabilize her current mental health recovery. The impact would likely be severe, with a high risk of exacerbation of her psychiatric symptoms, deterioration of her functioning, and a profound negative effect of her overall prognosis. Doe's legal battle with the hip hop mogul began after she filed a civil suit in California in the late 2024, accusing Jay Z and Sean Diddy Combs of assaulting her at a party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. She claimed she was 13 at the time and had been drugged. Both men denied the allegations. The case was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice in February 2025, meaning it cannot be refiled. Jay Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, then filed a defamation suit against Jane Doe and her attorney Tony Busby and David Fortney, accusing them of fabricating the claims to damage his reputation and extort money. His complaint alleges that Doe privately admitted the story was false and that her legal team encouraged her to pursue it anyway. Court documents claim investigators working with Carter's legal team visited Doe's home and spoke with her parents. She described the encounters as intimidating and terrifying. Despite her identity being sealed, Doe says she and her family have already been targeted with online threats. Her attorneys argue that all parties already know her name and that keeping it confidential won't affect Jay Z's ability to prepare for trial. They also pointed out that Carter once requested a pseudonym order for a defendant in a different case. Still, the judge has not yet decided whether Doe can remain anonymous. The irony is hard to ignore. Doe now says her life and reputation will be destroyed if her name is made public, the very type of damage Jay Z says he suffered when she made the allegations. Jay Z made it clear how deeply this situation has affected him and his family. And it quotes, "My greatest sorrow is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down and explain the cruelty and greed behind these accusations. It's devastating that a child of mine, now at an age where friends can read the news, might face questions about something so unfounded. This is yet
Hmm.
another loss of innocence that no child should endure." The next hearing in this case has not been scheduled yet. Oh,
What did she
child.
think was going to happen? Did she think she was going to be anonymous forever? You can't bring charges like that against someone and expect your name to never be revealed. I mean, I think her lawyers did her a disservice if she's so mentally um weakened by whatever. I don't know if this incident is a catalyst for that or she just in general has a problem. But why would they put you out there like that and then you're begging to stay anonymous? That is um, unreasonable because, like you said, he went through it when she made the accusations. We know who he is. How can you figure that you'll be afforded anonymity when you put this man through the ringer in his name?
Girl, white privilege. That's all that
Mm,
is. White damn privilege. Because exactly. And I'm glad the article brought it up because I was going to bring it up and you brought it up, Chill, too. You sat up there and accused that man and made the accusations which you knew were going to impact him immediately without
mm-hmm,
necessarily going to trial. It was going to
mm-hmm,
automatically impact him immediately. And even though you knew it was false, you continued with the story thinking that you were going to be able to extort him. And now that you realize he's rich, has the wealth to be able to defend himself, and now you're about to be exposed, you want
mm-hmm,
sympathy and you want a different outcome?
mm-hmm.
Oh no, baby. Oh no, baby. Mm-mm. No, no. You get the same treatment. You get the same treatment.
I would have never. That's like, I mean, you sue somebody who can fight back, number one, number two,
Hello?
and number three. Like,
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
why would you put yourself in that position and expect a different outcome? I just think Busby and his team just really did her a disservice. I don't know if they promised her that she could stay anonymous or whatever they may have told her, but baby, now you're on the hot seat and it's gonna get hotter.
It is gonna get hotter. And the shade is, I hope that Busby and them also owe money too, because they sat up there and used that woman to try and extort
Hmm.
her and her mental instability. That's what they
Yes.
really did. They tried to extort her mental instability to get money out of Jay Z without even realizing. Tony is so stupid. He's so arrogant that he thinks he's actually a good lawyer. You're
Yep.
not. You're not. And you learned today with Jay-Z's law team. Jay-Z has some of the best lawyers out. That man is worth what, ain't he worth like $1 billion?
I
Yeah, he's a
believe so.
billionaire. Hmm.
At least I know combined income with him and his wife, they're worth over $1 billion.
Hmm.
So if he ain't a billionaire him damn self, he's
He
damn
is
near
though.
close to it. Right,
He is.
exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Why would you think that you could go up against the legal team of a billionaire? Are you crazy?
Hoping he would probably settle out of court just because of, like you said, the immediate impact on his name. You were banking on that, and it backfired on you, and now you've really put this woman in a position that she's having to beg and get her psychiatrist to say that, if her name is revealed and so forth. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, she needs to be suing their asses.
Fair. She does need to sue them. She definitely needs to sue them. Her name should still be exposed though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Girl, you don't get the luxury of privacy in this situation.
Yeah. Especially when we learn, because what I think it came out before that Tony, but like, and I think it was Jay Z's legal team that like pointed it out, and they had proof of it that Tony Busby, as like, he does indeed do like so. I wouldn't doubt that he did actually tell that girl and probably lied to her and say, "Oh, you can stay anonymous forever," because we've learned that in order for him to get clients, he has to make up stories, he fabricates stories and stuff like that. That
Hmm.
because so I wouldn't doubt it.
And shame
Go ahead,
on him.
go ahead, Moderna
Oh, I,
Pooh.
I keep hitting that button by mistake.
Well, does anybody have anything else, or did Moderna want to, put his hand up by mistake again before we go to the next story? Well, this next story, y'all, Metro Boomin. Remember, we've talked about him before in his sexual assault case.
Yes.
So now, what he's trying to do is get a psychiatrist to kind of poke holes in his accuser's story.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, y'all see, I have another all hip hop article, and it's another exclusive with them. Metro Boomin hires expert psychologist, exposes flaws in accuser's story. So, Metro Boomin has enlisted renowned psychologist Dr. Elizabeth F. Loftus to testify in his defense as he prepares to face a civil sexual assault trial in Los Angeles federal court. Dr. Loftus, is leading authority on memory science. Is expected to argue that the recollections of Vanessa Lemastry, and if I'm saying her name wrong, please forgive me, the woman accusing the hip hop producer of rape may be unreliable due to psychological factors including trauma, therapy, and media influence. Based on my review, it is my professional opinion that there are significant memory issues in the current case, she stated. The lawsuit, filed in October of 2024, alleges that Metro Boomin drugged and sexually assaulted Lamastry in 2016 after giving her Xanax and alcohol during a studio session in Los Angeles. She claims she later woke up in a Beverly Hills hotel room to find him assaulting her and became pregnant as a result, ultimately terminating the pregnancy. Lamastry's lawsuit also claims that lyrics from Metro Boomin's 2017 track Rap Save Me referred to the alleged incident. Dr. Loftus highlighted discrepancies in Lamastry's medical records as part of her expert opinion. She said, I do not have any direct information that Lamastry was deliberately lying, but there is one fact that raises this potential. According to information in her deposition, Lamastry attempted to amend certain portions of the medical record associated with her November of 2016 abortion. She noted that the changes related to the timing of the alleged encounter and whether abuse occurred, which Lamastry initially denied. There may be other explanations for why Lamastry attempted to change the records, and this might be revealed by further discovery, Loftus added. Dr. Loftus, a distinguished professor at the University of California, Irvine, has testified in more than 300 high profile cases, including those involving Michael Jackson and the Duke lacrosse players. Her research has significantly influenced how courts approach memory, particularly in cases involving trauma and suggestion. Metro has denied all accusations and called the lawsuit a pure shakedown. If he prevails, his legal team has signaled a possible counterclaim for malicious prosecution. After failed mediation talks in July of 2025, the case is now set for trial on September 23rd of 2025. I hope she gets every dime that she's suing his ass for. This is so agreed. Now, first off, I do want to say, um, it's just really Metro. I don't know if y'all know this, but long story short, his mom was actually murdered by her partner, her boyfriend. So for this to happen to, but this is how you know patriarchy is a motherfucker, honey. Because for this to happen to you and your family, you still go out there and rape somebody, drug and rape them allegedly, and then get the girl pregnant. But now you're trying to use a psychologist to like this is dirty work. And then talking about like if he prevails, there's going to be a counterclaim. Oh my god. This is what like I'm gagged. Like, wow.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's guilty. I mean, yeah, but they're looking at the timing of her abortion is what I'm getting from the story. And did
Mhm.
she amend that timing to coincide with the date that she alleges this assault happened? That's what I'm getting. And I don't know. I withhold judgment to see, what's to it. Now this may be a power play on his part. I mean, that could be true also. Um, I think just time will tell.
Time will tell indeed, honey. So y'all know I'm gonna follow this story, honey. I have to see the outcome of this.
Yeah, because it's a mess. There's too much going on.
Mhm. Well, do anybody want to add anything else before I go to the next story about other things going on, honey?
How do we feel about this expert psychologist coming in and testifying so late? Like, do we think that it's unethical to be paid all this money to say all these things, or
Not if they
Not really.
uncovered truthful things. If she was just saying what she thinks, maybe that would be different. But if
Mhm.
she's giving facts about, this girl's testimony, she's been deposed already, and now she's changed some, key answers, as opposed to just giving her opinion. Yeah, I mean I guess that's the beauty of having experts that you can hire to skew things, your way, which we know is a thing. It can happen
Right,
that way, but
right, right,
if
right.
she's revealing some real facts, I just have to see what comes out of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And we will see, honey. Just like Chili said, time will tell. Hey, favorite Taurus. Well, speaking of a lot going on, honey, this next story, I was reading this. Um, Now, are y'all familiar with someone by the name of Thomas Davis who did sports? I think he's a former NFL player or something like that.
It doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, well, we about to know who he is now, honey, because why is his ex-wife beating up bitches, honey, over him?
Ex-wife.
Ex-wife, honey.
Oh, then they still together.
Listen, wake it up. So y'all see, I just shared this TMZ link. Thomas Davis's ex arrested after allegedly hitting woman in attack over NFLer.
Okay, Kelly.
So Thomas Davis's estranged wife, Kelly Davis, was arrested earlier this week after she allegedly attacked a woman for hooking up with the former NFL superstar. An attorney for Kelly, though, tells TMZ Sports the allegations are false. Court documents we obtained court documents you obtained state Laura Watterson, a chiropractor, accused Kelly of hitting her multiple times at her office in Charlotte, North Carolina on August 26th. After
Not her
she says,
office.
in her office, girl, came to work with the bullshit. On August 26th, after she says Kelly thought she had been hooking up with Thomas. According to the docs, Kelly began screaming at Watterson while the doctor was with the patient. And when she was
Mm,
asked to leave, Kelly socked Watterson in the chest. Then,
wow.
Watterson wrote in the docs, as I tried to guide her out the door of my office, she hit me and knocked my glasses off and then hit me again on the other side of the head. A warrant for Kelly's arrest was issued over the allegations on August 29th, and jail records show Kelly was taken into custody on September 3rd. Kelly has since been charged with one count of misdemeanor assault and battery, but her attorney, James J. Exum, told us Friday, we believe completely in Kelly's innocence, and we look forward to challenging these false allegations once we have a court date.
Well,
Kelly
there
and
was a
Thomas,
witness.
there
I
was a witness,
mean,
honey.
the patient was there.
So are y'all sure y'all want to take this to trial, honey?
Uh-huh.
Well, Kelly and Thomas married way back in March of 2008. But in a civil case Kelly filed in February 2025, she stated the two split in March of 2024 after the former All Pro linebacker engaged in illicit sexual conduct with at least six women other than her during their marriage. Okay, that dingaling was busy, honey.
Mm.
Well, Davis, a first round pick in the 2005 NFL draft, is best known for his 13 years with the California Panthers. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, with the Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry, with the Carolina Panthers. When he
No, you
made,
didn't.
I know, y'all, please don't beat me down.
Not your own state. Get out of here.
Child. Well, remember, you still talk to the same bitch that I still thought the Charlotte Hornets was a thing. Will, who probably hasn't even been in North Carolina, had to tell me, well, you know that's not a thing anymore, right?
Right. Oh,
Well, when he made three Pro Bowls and piled up over 1,000 combined tackles. He also played for the Chargers and the Commanders in his illustrious 15-season career. He and Kelly share two children together, including 17-year-old Thomas Davis Jr., a four-star high school linebacker prospect who's committed to play for Notre Dame next season. And it says attempts to reach Thomas Davis Sr. and Watterson for comment were unsuccessful. But there's been an update, and let me see what the update says. It says Kelly Davis tells TMZ Sport she did strike Laura Watterson during a dispute at the chiropractor's office, though she claims she was acting in self defense.
oh, but she can't
They
say she didn't hit that woman. Okay.
right. Well, Davis said she showed up to Watterson's work to speak with her about sleeping with Thomas Davis. But at one point during their conversation, Watterson grabbed her arm and dug her nails into it. That's when I slapped her, Kelly said. Kelly claimed she hit Watterson again after she had been escorted out of the office. Kelly told us the entire ordeal did not stem from jealousy. Rather, she said she merely wanted to talk with Watterson after she had worked closely with Kelly, Thomas, and their son over the years. I'm not jealous, she said. I don't want that man back ever in my life.
Sure,
Okay.
girl. But why you had to go to her office to do it? I mean, you really put yourself in a precarious situation, even if it was allegedly what you're saying was. You don't go to somebody's job to accost them about sleeping with a man that you don't want anymore. That doesn't even add up.
While she's with a patient.
Right. And you see a patient in there, girl, girl.
The math ain't mathing.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I just wanted to say that the California Panthers were my favorite team growing up.
And they were pretty good, weren't they,
They
Will?
were amazing. I remember watching when I was a little kid in California, watching them score all those touchdowns and all the slam dunks too. Like they were
Not
the
slam
best.
dunks.
Yes.
Child, when I tell
Oh,
you my family, because you know my family is some diehard sports fans, honey. If they hear that, they is gonna roast my ass, honey, just like I tried to
oh,
roast them coffee beans.
terrible, just terrible.
Well, does anybody want to add anything about Miss Kelly Davis or her community dick ex before we go to the next story?
You gonna have to get off some money to beat these charges, honey.
Ooh.
If
Well,
you beat them, you this is gonna cost you.
I don't know. I think maybe it might be some truth to it because you know chiropractors do work closely with these ways. She said that she working with her and her son. So now I do get not going to like I don't understand why she would go to her place of business and bring that
No,
shit up while she was with a patient. But yeah, look,
right.
girl, let's talk. Over dinner or something like that. Is you fucking my man?
Catch her
Or
in the
my ex
parking
man?
lot.
Right.
Anything.
Cause I just find it real wild that you was fucking him while you was working. We supposed to be in close, and you working with him and my son, and
Right. I get
like,
it.
But was that her man? Wasn't that her ex?
Well, at the time, maybe it happened when they were together. That's what I'm getting. She supposedly
mm-hmm.
did it, but still, you don't do it the way she did it.
Right, right.
And I wonder if she did that to like the six other women that because she said like which is it was it six women or more than six like when during the time that they were together that reason that she
Listen,
divorced.
I would just like to say, look at her mugshot. It's
Baby, she's
given,
eating, honey.
given, I'll do it again.
I I'm not sorry.
It's not giving sorry. It's not, there's no
And
remorse. It's very much so like,
look at
I'm
her
a bad
eyes,
bitch and I'll do it
Auntie.
again.
Look at those eyes, baby.
I
Hello?
see him, honey.
She will beat a bitch.
Yes, honey. But that face, she beat him just like she beat that face, honey. Because that face is beat for that mugshot. We got to give her that,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
yeah. She's a
hair.
pretty woman.
Yeah.
Pretty. She's very pretty. Gorgeous woman.
And we know she crazy because look at that asymmetry.
She crashed out for real.
Allegedly, allegedly. Well, does anybody want to add anything else before we go to the next story? Well, this next story, y'all. So, Billy Porter. Now, this is actually kind of sad.
What's going on with Billy?
So
Sad
he, girl,
about Billy?
yes, girl, he got sepsis.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that is sad.
hmm So I just shared this link from TMZ, and y'all see where it says here, Billy Porter exits Broadway show early amid diagnosis. So Billy Porter
Oh.
is cutting his Broadway return short, stepping away from Cabaret weeks earlier than expected due to a serious health scare. On Sunday,
Mm,
producers for the Broadway revival announced the Tony winner is battling a serious case of sepsis and will not finish his originally scheduled run at New York City's August Wilson Theater. Porter was slated
mm.
to star as the MC through October 21st, but his final performance will now be on September 21st. His doctors are confident that he will make a full recovery, but have advised him to maintain a restful schedule, read a statement on
Mm-hmm.
the show's social media account. For those unfamiliar, sepsis is a life threatening condition caused by the body's extreme response to infection, which could lead to organ failure, tissue damage, and even death if untreated, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Porter's exit leaves big shoes to fill. The production revealed Marty Lauder and David Marino will rotate in the iconic role of the MC for the final stretch of the performances. Speedy recovery, Billy.
Oh,
So
wow.
yes, sepsis, honey. I'm sorry, we have a
Well,
comment saying pick up your hood feelings. You are a freaking mess.
Pick him up, pick him up. You know, it's terrible. It's very terrible for him. Why did they choose this photo?
I didn't want to say anything, but
Now
this
y'all know he want to be
wig,
Whitney Houston so bad, honey.
oh, this
Her,
wig, baby.
her.
Did he get it from this wig? Cause baby,
Okay, okay. Did it come from the wig, honey?
mm,
Oh, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
You know, there might be something to it because it's definitely giving very much 99 2000 Whitney on tour wig. It's giving very much that.
Really? And you see how he be acting. He wants to be like the he really wants to be he wants to find his own Brandy and kind of mentor her. Like because he thought he was gonna have that with Cabello, honey, but then he probably found out she was racist, allegedly. So, but he really wants to be Whitney Houston. I am very convinced of that.
we'll get
Mm,
well
But
soon, honey.
well,
get
well,
well soon.
what's for lunch?
Uh, I'm having stewed turkey and rice and okra,
That sounds delicious, Joe.
and it is. My
Yes.
cousin's a great cook.
Shout out to Chili's cousin.
Hmm.
Well, did anybody want to add anything about this Whitney Houston impersonator before we go to the next story?
Get well, Billy.
Get well indeed. And is it what this article was saying, like his doctors expect him to make a full recovery if he gets plenty of rest? Is that
Hmm.
true in your yeah, okay.
And antibiotics, strong
Antibiotic.
antibiotics. Sepsis is very serious, and yes, you can die of it if it's untreated, but with antibiotics and care, and hopefully, I mean, even if it's way advanced, sometimes the antibiotics are too late. But if they caught it in time and he gets treated, he'll be okay. But he definitely could not be doing Broadway while being treated, because if you stress yourself out, you run the risk of it not going away, even with treatment. So you have to rest and get your treatment.
Yeah. Y'all listen to that health professional. All right. Well, somebody who you should not listen to, Young Thug. And I really hate that we got to talk about this shit, but it's in the news.
Oh,
So,
whew. I wish you'd take us out the group chat, honey.
honey, and you know he's on that because after them calls were leaked, honey, he's on that media tour right now, honey, trying to clean up that image. He don't want people to know that
Mhm.
he the rat, allegedly. But this here, right here, child, I was just like, girl.
What this got to
So,
do with tea in China?
hello. Young Thug says he doesn't trust gay men who aren't open about their sexuality, is what he said. So he was just on a podcast, talking with the Perspectives with Bank people. And let's just watch this little clip of what his ass has to say about this child. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. Oh, and while
He
I'm
got
pulling it up, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
oh, he got a lot of nerve.
There. I hate to say this on the recorded line, but parts of what he was saying was actually true because we've seen historically folks who don't necessarily accept themselves, they operate in a way that is very harmful towards others.
What?
So from that angle, I
Yep.
totally understood where he was coming from. Everything else, he lost me though. But I did want to give credit for that little nibble of truth, even though he may not. Of course, he probably he don't look very smart. But he probably didn't realize that's what he was saying. But we've seen time and time again, both in when we discuss in this show and then of course in our waking lives as well. We see folks who haven't acknowledged or accepted their attraction to the same sex. They tend to have very violent and destructive demeanors, not only to themselves but to other people as well, especially the people that they were in connection with on an intimate level.
But the
Yeah.
hypocrisy of talking about honesty, the hypocrisy.
I, that's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I mean, he
That-
may, yeah, that may be true, but I'm not even focusing on that. The hypocrisy of talking about people putting on a facade. Get out of here.
And if it was from that angle, Will, I would definitely I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the angle it definitely wasn't that intelligent and thought out. His was pretty much like he's definitely shading masculine gaze, and he pretty much said once he finds out you're gay, you're no longer considered a real man to him. But he do like gay people because all of them work for him. So we can do his
Mm,
labor. We can do it. So y'all, let's see what he's saying. Give me 1 second. Let me play the clip.
Once you rat or once you turn gay, and I don't got nothing to do against gay people. It's gay people that work for me. But when I look at you a certain way, if I look at you, if I meet you and you gay, it's like okay. If I meet you and you portraying that you a man and you not gay, I don't got nothing against gay people.
Yeah, no, I get what
You know what I'm saying? If you portraying
you
a certain
undercover,
thing,
you deceiving.
right?
Yeah,
I can't look at you the same.
yeah.
I ain't mad at you for being gay. So what? Everybody, whoever gay, they gay. So
Mhm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't got no problem with gay people. Gay people work for me right now.
Yeah.
I'm damn near around gay people every day because they work for me. I don't got no problem with them. I don't hate that I even brought this shit. I don't want you to take it out, but I hate I even brought it up because I don't even want the
They
LGBT.
get what you saying.
I don't even want that community to even think that I'm against them. I'm
you
overly
saying,
with y'all
you
folks.
saying DL, bro. That's what you speaking on.
Like if I look at you like a man and we together, girls together, and we doing certain shit, and I look at you and a man like, boy, that nigga, and then I find out you gay, it ain't really nothing you can say to me.
Yeah.
I'ma just look at
oh,
you like you broke a man code. You broke a code that men would stand up to. You broke that code. You can talk, you can say whatever you want to say. You broke a man code. I don't look at you the same. But in real life, I don't even want to hear what you gotta say, but you still supposed to be a real say, I'm finna say it. I don't give a want to hear it or not. I'm finna say it to make sure he know. And that's why I'm doing this interview.
He might not be one of the I'm just speaking. Stir the pot.
I hate his voice. I hate it so much. He seven feet tall, 250, and sound like he 12. But anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
so essentially, he only likes femme bombs because he can fuck them. That's what I got.
Oh
Wake
my
it
God.
up. Wake it up.
Allegedly.
Wait. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Allegedly, allegedly.
like I still stand by what I said because I understood it from a different perspective, but that's exactly what I got from the entire interview. He's only okay with effeminate gay men because A, he feels superior, and two, they are of service. I'll say that they are of service to him.
He
You know,
knows what's
but this is
available.
but this ain't nothing new, especially when it comes to like black quote unquote cis hetero men and their sentiments towards gay
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mhm.
It's not uncommon at all. So I want to be shocked, but when you've been hearing it for the majority of your life, you become desensitized to the bullshit. So it's to be expected.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Talking about you broke a man code. Like, boy, bye. Bye. Uh, Moderna, did you have something to add, or was this another mistake?
No, this was correct. This was very
Okay,
correct.
yay.
Yeah, I did have something I wanted to add. You're right. The femboys are of service, but that man has had his booty ate. Hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
has had his booty ate. So I don't know how much that is in effect, or if he's just trying to portray himself to be more masculine than what he, is in these streets. But yeah, Young Thug has had his booty ate. I'm sure. Mhm.
baby,
Allegedly.
All
whomever
right,
had courage
allegedly.
enough to
Exactly.
go back there, honey, whomever that person may be, they need a Nobel Peace Prize. I tell you that, because that is some bravery I have. Oh my God, if I ever
Or
heard of
they need to be
bravery.
in jail. one or the other. Uh, but at the end of the day, yeah, it's terrible. It's very toxic. But he's toxic and ugly. And it's like, so why are we paying attention to what he has to say? He's ugly. I don't like no. No, no, no.
And he said we have a comment saying gush butter or whatever it's called. I believe the term is gush gooch grease. Is I believe it's gooch grease.
Gush, gush. Oh my God, pieces.
Well, well, this next ad we won't spend too much time on this, but Benzino. So, because remember the whole conversation about why Young Thug is in the news so much lately is because of all his leaked phone calls from jail.
Hmm.
Well, Benzino has come out to say that he believes that the government leaked those calls.
Oh,
Hmm. So I have a now never mind the fact that Benzino looks like a thumb in the video that I'm about to show y'all. But let's just see what he has to say. Let me go straight to the clip and share my screen. Okay, and let's wait till that. Where's the clip? Oh, I'll agree. Say, where's the clip? Here we go.
What I'm more surprised at and more kind of pissed off at is how the is this even constitutional that a prison, which is part of the system, right, can leak private phone calls? I don't, that shit blows me. How can that happen? Now, they're saying, well, who leaked them? Somebody had to get money for them. Nah, because there's no watermark on them. If TMZ bought them, you can best believe TMZ's watermark will be all over that. There's no watermark. I guarantee the government's leaking them because they know what they're doing. They know, let me tell you something, from the feds to City Hall to the mayor to the governor, they all got a communications department where they have hired staff that all they do is look at social media for various reasons. That's it. And us as a community and culture, we just give them everything they want. It's easy. How is it legal and constitutional for a private conversation? Now, he's not talking about no drug shit. He's not talking about murdering anybody. He's just talking about regular shit that everybody talks about. And you people on there, right? When you comment, everybody's so, oh my God, oh my God. You are more into that than you are in the music. You can't wait to hear the next phone call. But then judge and criticize and condemn the mother doing it without looking at yourself or putting yourself in somebody's shoes. We got to stop quit judging, man.
Okay, so
do
one of the
we?
things somebody said looking like a Gen Z, a Gen X stud. I am screaming. But so my thing is, I guess one part of like growing older is that you learn that you can listen to what somebody is saying, even if you don't like the person, but they still have the right message. Because he didn't say now, if anybody is going to make these claims and know what they're talking about, it has definitely been Zeno. Why do I say that? Because Benzino successfully ran the Source magazine for years. He knows culture. He is hip hop culture. So he knows what he's talking about. And then when he brought up the watermark, because at first I was like, oh, this is just another nigga rambling. But no, when he brought up the watermarks, I was like, oh shit, you were absolutely right. Because they watermark everything. If you bought that shit and you wanted out there and get that shit monetized, you're gonna watermark it. The fact that it had no watermark, and we do know for a fact that the government does have areas that monitor social media and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
hey.
he could have told the truth. We don't care, um, but anyway.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
No, it's not uncommon for these phone calls to leak. Like I believe 2015 they had like a huge leak of like 14 million phone calls being leaked online, and that's what happens when these government agencies. This is no allegedly. They outsource all that technology to like third party companies, and
Hmm.
then they own and then they have the right to access all that information. So none of it is ever done in house. So when all of these quote unquote leaks happen, it's because of faulty technology that the government paid for, ironically enough. And on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
there's no expectation of privacy when you're on those phone calls as well, because of course they have to be monitored and yada yada yada. So it makes perfect sense as to why those phone calls are leaked.
Yeah, there
You
we
should
have
know
it.
that. You should know that. They tell you bright as day when you get on the phone, it's going to be recorded. And if you've been
Mm-hmm.
around, you know calls get leaked, and you come out and talking this and that and the other. And they say, well, let's go back to his phone calls and see what he was saying and leak them. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like I said, I don't care. You made that bed.
Yep. Go ahead, favorites wars.
And the last thing, one thing that really gagged me is how he was on the phone smacking on some food like an auntie, gossiping with his
The
girlfriend.
memes,
Mm-hmm.
the
That
memes have been
that
crazy.
that alone took me all the way out. It was the smacking. It was the particular level of smacking he was doing while on the phone with his
Uh-huh.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
wonder if that's because he doesn't have a neck. So it's hard for him to, actually use his mouth appropriately.
oh,
You know, that part of it of your spine that kind of holds up your cranium. It might be missing, Moderna. You might be onto something.
well, does anybody want to add anything about this damn fucker before we go to the next story?
I have no medical analysis available here.
Ooh, honey, because that looks something like it looked like something out of a medical book. One of them, all them big ass books y'all had to read, honey, in y'all studies. It looks something right out of it. Looks like he looked like sepsis. Let me stop.
Oh my God.
Well, the next story, I got three more stories left. This next one, so just a little update about Yella Beezy. So remember we talked a bit about him and how he, his murder for hire, how he got caught up in the murder for hire for Mo 3. So now the judge wants more information. So I just shared this hot new hip hop link. Y'all see where it says Yella Beezy's judge requests specifics to decide new bond modifications in murder for hire case. Because just a little quick reminder, remember when we talked about him, he was trying to plead with the judge, say, hey, I'm under house arrest. I need to go and work because I need to make some money.
Hmm.
So Dallas County Judge Chika Anyam, and if I'm mispronouncing her name, I apologize. But Judge Chika Anyam on August 29th heard arguments on whether rapper Yella Beezy, real name Marquise Conway, should be allowed to return to recording studios while awaiting trial on a capital murder charge. Conway faces prosecution under capital murder for the uh, remuneration in connection with the November of 2020 killing of rapper Marvin Mo 3 Noble. This case is pending in Dallas County Criminal District Court. Conway's current bond restricts him to home confinement with an ankle monitor. He may request permission to attend events with the court's approval. Defense attorney Toby L. Shook filed a motion to modify Conway's bond conditions, arguing that studio access is essential for sustaining the Dallas artist's career. Shook maintained that the request was not about expanding Beasley's social activities, but about enabling him to work. I hope so. Everyone needs to work a little. Shook said about the possible approval to the proposed motion. So, when asked whether the modification will resemble BZ's prior club hosting engagements, including an appearance in Arizona, Shook indicated that the proposed conditions would permit broader opportunities. This is going to give him more, he explained, not just concerts, but other stuff. We'll see if it works. Prosecutors pushed back, urging the courts to require specific safeguards if studio work is permitted. Judge Anyam ultimately declined to rule immediately, instead requesting additional details before making a determination. She directed the defense to provide information on which studios Conway attends to use, their locations, his hours of work, and whether professional service could supervise the activity. By adjourning the matter, Judge Anyam left the motion unresolved, but signaled it was not without merit. The request illustrates the tension courts often face in high profile cases, balancing a defendant's ability to maintain lawful employment with the need to enforce strict pretrial conditions. A pretrial hearing in State versus Conway is set for January 9th of 2026, with trial scheduled for February 2nd of 2026. For now, Conway's bid to return to the recording studio remains undecided, pending further details on how his proposed work can be monitored. So yeah, that's very interesting. So she's like, look, if he claiming he want to go to work at the studio, I need to see what studio is going to be at, how long is he planning to be there, who's going to be there with his ass, because I need this before I make a decision. But I wonder,
That's a
this is
smart.
really, yeah, I agree. I just wonder, like if it's gonna do anything. Like, do they really see him as a truly dangerous person who need to have his ass at home and not need to be out with the public, whether it's studio working or not?
Well,
And so we have a comment: if Benzino is a thumb, this guy looks like a pinky toe.
What?
Well, does anybody want to add anything else on yellow pinky toe before we go to the next story?
mm-mm.
All these people are so irrelevant. It's like, who cares?
Well, wait a minute. Now, I really like Mo 3, and I was sad when he got killed. And then
Oh,
to find out Yellow Beezy did it, huh? Well, Yellow Beezy was behind it was gag worthy.
mm. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know who none of these people are. It's giving Mariah.
Moderna, this is us every day on the show most of the time.
and you haven't done it in a while, Will, but anytime I bring up a rapper, we'll be like, who?
I say to myself, like, who the fuck is a yellow dreezy? I thought you said bees. I was like, Jolene, what did Jolene do? I was like, oh, it's not Jolene.
Okay, then we talking about Beezy. I'm like, I thought we already talked about Chris. Ain't he yellow? What's going on?
And the crazy thing is, I'm actually surprised that you like if you turn on the Houston radio, I'm sure they play. Yeah, well, they have played maybe before this trial, but
Girl, I don't listen to Houston radio.
oh, then never mind.
I have my Apple Music attached to my wireless CarPlay, and I bump
Work.
my new music mix that comes out every Friday.
Yes, honey, I love it. I need to do this. I actually haven't done that in a while. I need to discover some new music. Well, so we've talked a bit about Dame Dash and all his problems that he's been going through. Well, I don't know if y'all have seen like the back and forth between him and Cameron.
Oh, well,
So
I know
him
who these two people are.
Did he sell his dentures? We have a question in the chat. Did he sell his dentures? Possibly, because in this new video, he's actually talking without him, and I think he's doing that because he wants to seem more vulnerable. But he really didn't appreciate what Cam said about his son. So he got on this camera with he got on video with his teeth out, and he put on his best payment arrangement voice. Because the Dame Dash I know doesn't talk like this, but let's see what he has to say. And first, let me just kind of read this little section so we can get a little background. Oh, and let me get the right link though. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so it says Dame Dash slams Cameron for dragging son into ugly feud and says, "I'm just disgusted." So, Damon Dash called out Cameron on Sunday, September 7th, for allegedly offering money to his son for an interview, escalating an already tense feud between the former Rockefeller collaborators that has spilled into the public eye following Dash's bankruptcy filing. And give me 1 second, let me share my screen. We're going to watch what he had to say together. And I'm telling y'all gonna be like, Is this Dame Dash? Why is he talking like that?" He took his teeth out, honey. He wanted to look vulnerable.
I'm really sitting here shaking my head. I'm sitting here healing. I got my tooth surgery. My eyes getting better. I got the file, get all that dead off my back paws. And I get a call from my son Boogie, like, guess what? Cam just called me, sent me some money so I could go on an interview. Cam, This is a whole new level of low. You know, it's just not proper conduct to bring children or my children or anyone's children in. And I know Larry made the call, but to try to divide a family and take advantage, manipulate my child, all because you're too scared to have a direct conversation with me about the things you said about me, it's just, it just, it's, it's just not the way it's just not the level. It kind of shows your pedigree of pettiness. And right now, I think your pedigree for messing with over this, trying to fuck with my family, I'm just disgusted. And I'm not proud. And I think you should be ashamed of yourself. You, Larry, you have children, you have a family, and you are going to use my kids or whatever trauma that you think they have or separation and dividedness. I don't know why you would think that to make whatever point. This is how you treat people you grew up with that helped you. This is how petty. I wouldn't suggest you did this with any enemy, any op. You know, in gangster shit, it's like you keep the kids and the family out of it. But again, this is too. You're too sensitive, Cam. This is not the way I would expect you to conduct your business. Try a little better, get a little neater. Every time you say something, I hear about it as you're saying it. It's never like a surprise. But my children, Boogie, you sent the man money. You think he's gonna jump out the bridge or jump off the bridge for 5,000? You sent him 2,500. You should be ashamed of yourself, man. Someone should talk to you. I know Mace, and I know the girl next to you. I know your crew can't be jacking that. Pause. I know they can't tell you, yo, that's dope. Go fuck with his family. That's crazy, bro. Come on, man. Come, go scour the internet and find something different, bro. You know, make some shit up or something, but don't do that. Peace, bro. Still love you.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but that is definitely not the Dame Dash that we're used to seeing in the media and stuff. Definitely not the same voice, not the same. It's almost looking like, and I could be wrong, but maybe y'all see something different. But he looks almost like he's defeated. Like he tired of fighting with Cam. He kind of knows what more back and forth would look like, and he kind of was maybe hurt by that, and maybe felt betrayed that Cameron and the podcast would like pay his son for an interview or whatever. I don't know. But this article continues. It says the rift between the two rap figures has been brewing for months, with Dash expressing frustration over Cam's repeated public comments about his financial situation. Cameron has criticized Dash's spending habits, blaming his money troubles on executive purchases like private jets, luxury real estate, and high end items. According to Cameron, Dash got comfortable and failed to maintain the hustle required to support that lifestyle. Dash, in turn, accused Cameron of exploiting their issues for attention, calling him a culture vulture and questioning his loyalty. He also took issue with Cameron discussing private conversations about Rockefeller executive roles, saying those disclosures contributed to the label's collapse. The tension intensified when Cameron claimed he was pressured into appearing in Dash's 2018 film Honor Up, a project he later criticized. Dash defended the movie and challenged Cameron's creative consistency, further fueling their war of words. Both men have taken public shots at each other's characters, business acumen, and relevance in the culture, turning what may have started as a business disagreement into a deeply personal conflict. Dash has since called for a private, face to face conversation to settle their differences, saying the back and forth insults are disrespectful and unproductive. So, yeah, especially with this right here alone, this leads me to believe that he was probably hurt. That was like a real, maybe he felt that that was a shot in the heart. He didn't want to get his kids involved. But I think he took his teeth out and used that, I want to make a payment arrangement voice to seem a little bit more vulnerable. He wants us to know that he was serious about this. So go ahead, favorite Taurus.
First of all, payment arrangement voice is a mess, Auntie. You know, I, I know multiple things can be true at the same time, right? My thing is this: I still cannot. Of course, someone that's on the outside looking in still cannot get past the way this person navigated his success and the people that he harmed on the way to obtain that success and then losing it. He affected generations of people in a negative way. And now that it's his turn to get back whatever energy he put out, now he wants to put his dentures in the Sensodyne and look all disheveled in his 2021 Nike shorts and a bug hat. Like, it's too late for that. I'm so sorry. So whatever he has coming to him, even though we spoke about karma on another episode, how when it comes back to you, it doesn't necessarily affect you. It affects you and the people that are close to you or the things that you love. So I can't help but to think that this is one of those retaliations. Uh-oh.
I was
Testing.
like, am I disconnected?
Yeah. Oh, do I need to do the hokey pokey again to make this shit work?
No, I think we were temporary because I lost sound temporarily too.
Okay.
Um, and I think the last thing I heard you say was about the thing about karma, and then it just went out. And you sound like you were about to make a good ass point too.
I was gonna revisit something I just touch on something I said briefly, I believe a couple of weeks ago, like how we spoke about the concept of karma, right? And when we say it comes back to you, it doesn't necessarily always come back to you. It comes back to the things that you love the most, or you put that energy towards, and that includes your family as well. So, I definitely think that's one of those forms of retaliation that he's facing now, unfortunately.
Yes, indeed. I agree because, like you said, we know we know about Dame Dash, honey. We know. So, well, does anybody want to add anything about this toothless man before we go to the last story? All right. Well, y'all, the last story, if you ever had hopes of, somebody from the Publishers Clearinghouse showing up to your house and, handing you a big old check, honey, and live happily ever after, you can go ahead and hang that dream up, honey. Hang it up flat screen. Because I have this story here by way of People, and y'all should see here where it says Publisher Clearinghouse winner says that they are no longer receiving their lifetime payments, and it feels like a nightmare to them.
Oh no.
Oh, hello? Because now you know me as a millennial, and I used to sit with my grandma while she watched her stories and stuff like that. They will always show commercials of the public
Yeah.
house, and somebody would knocking on your door with a big ass check, be like, "Hey, bitch, look what we
And some
got for you."
balloons.
Balloons, honey, flowers, a box of chocolate. But baby, not no more, honey. So, by way of People, y'all see, it says here, so several publishers clearinghouse winners claim that they are no longer receiving their promised lifetime payouts, and it's having a devastating effect on their lives. The company declared bankruptcy in April, and I didn't even know that they declared bankruptcy back in it, but they
Me
declared
neither.
bankruptcy in
Ooh.
April. Yep. And an investigation by Oregon outlet KGW8 found that at least 10 past winners who had been receiving annual payments never received their yearly check.
Oh boy.
Why didn't somebody give me a heads up? Um, said the person, "Hey, we're going out of business." Former winner John Wiley of White City asked while speaking to the outlet. It's not a good way to treat anyone. Wiley, who's 61, he won $260,000 a year for life from Publishers Clearinghouse in 2012. He said the money allowed him to retire early and move closer to family. Now, however, he said things are looking bleak. This feels like a nightmare. I thought this was going to go on for the rest of my life, so I didn't really have to worry about money, he said before adding that he has been having trouble finding work and will likely lose his home.
Oh wow.
Yes, girl. KGWA also spoke to Matthew and Tamar Veach, a Cottage Grove couple who won the lifetime payout in 2021. The pair, who are both Army veterans with disabilities, said the money has also stopped coming as the months have gone by and their loved ones have become closer of their new reality. It's cruel, Matthew said while discussing the fact that his family thought they had won a guaranteed financial security, only to have it abruptly taken from them. It's worse to say you'll get this thing and your life will change forever, and then say, oh, but sorry, no, it's not. The couple said they
Wow.
initially called Publishers Clearinghouse when they did not receive their annual check and claimed that a representative from the company told them the payments will resume quarterly. They said the company filed for bankruptcy shortly thereafter and the money never came. It's unfortunate there was no warning, Matthew told the outlet. The big letdown came in January when President Trump cracked down on bookstores. ARB Interactive bought Publishers Clearinghouse out of bankruptcy in July and stated that they plan to run the sweepstakes under the Publisher Clearinghouse brand name. At ARB Interactive, we are committed to restoring and preserving the trust that has defined the Publishers Clearinghouse, also known as PCH, brand for decades, a representative from ARB Interactive wrote in an email statement to People. The company added that while they are not responsible for the payment prize money won before their acquisition of Publishers Clearinghouse, they have resumed responsibly for the prizes awarded after July 15th of 2025, as well as a super prize from May 31st. So y'all heard that part right. They added that they are not responsible for the payments of prize money won before their acquisition, but they have resumed responsibly for the prizes awarded after July 15th of this year and as a super prize from May 31st. So
Mm.
we recognize the impact this has had on past winners and the disappointment caused by the bankruptcy process, the ARB Interactive rep continued, adding they plan to implement a robust paying structure that will ensure the prize winners are protected and that payments are secure for them long term. The company said as part of the acquisition, ARB also contributed a substantial cash payment to the bankruptcy estate, which is technically responsible for paying past winners. People reached out to Publisher Clearinghouse for comment on Sunday, September 7th, but did not receive an immediate response. It goes on to say Daryl Lester, who worked as a senior vice president for Publishers Clearinghouse from 1973 through 2022, said he is really angry over the way the company handled its financial situation while speaking to the Daily Mail. However, he also said that there are lessons to be learned from the alleged recent turn of events for other potential winners. Specifically, he recommended taking the full sum over an annual lifetime payout should you have the option. If you win, take the lump sum. If a state or a company goes bankrupt, they don't have to pay the winnings, he told the outlet. While Darrell told the outlet this means winners will pay more in taxes up front, he argued that it's worth it to secure the funds. Publishers Clearinghouse filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York State in April, according to the Associated Press. At the time, the company claimed that there would be no disruptions to its regular payout protocols and structure throughout the bankruptcy process, per the outlet. Oh, okay, so they lied. They flat out lied.
Mm.
Girl, ain't that gag worthy, honey? I was like, oh, not PCH, honey, not the motherfuckers that, because me personally, honey, I done filled out, forms and entered online for them because I want them motherfuckers to appear to my house with a check so
Surgery,
bad, honey. You just don't know.
And
surgery
then by Now magazine.
online.
People stopped buying them magazines when they realized that, you didn't have to make a purchase to really enter. I didn't understand how they kept it going, to be honest.
Right, 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 right. Mm.
Yep. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
There's so many thoughts about this whole thing. My thing is this: if you are getting a guaranteed, quote unquote, guaranteed lump sum of money, either through any interval of time, right? And it's been more than 10 years. Have uh, who is advising these people not to invest so that the money can be multiplied over time instead of relying on a single check to come into the mail? Is giving welfare in a sense. That's the only thing I've drawn to the situation. You see what I mean?
Well,
I
some of
mean, it
those
is
people may
unfortunate.
be living on that if they're not retirement age and getting other funds, they
Hmm.
may have used that as an annual income basically and stopped working. So I can sort of understand maybe why they didn't use that money to invest it. I don't
And
know.
PCH wasn't giving out financial literacy
Right.
along with these big old checks. You know, it was just the thrill of it and like people trying to get people to continue to do it.
And
And
then the
speaking,
prizes were like what, like 1 million, or they weren't giving out like lottery millions and off rip. Like they take half probably the same way they do the lottery. And
Yeah.
then even if you take the payments, you're still paying taxes on that. So it may not have amounted to that much every year.
Mm-hmm.
I
and
don't know.
speaking of literacy, in my auntie voice, speaking of literacy, they did receive a contract because these mega corporations have contracts that kind of say you can't sue us or this is what's going to happen.
Right.
No one
Mm-hmm.
took that into consideration when receiving this man. It's like, well, hey, this could happen at any time. They appear secure, but based upon how the world is operated, we need to make sure our shit is secure outside of that. That is what
Yeah,
I'm getting at. So I understand what you're saying at a certain point we still have to people need to be accountable for the shit that they give, right? Especially
true.
if they didn't necessarily earn it per se, like actually work for it. It was something that was given to them on a whim or whatever the parameters were to win the prize. Like no one advised them to look at or read the contract back to them, pointing out the things that they needed to understand and allow them to make the decision to make the move accordingly. It doesn't sound like that. And so it's also these people didn't take those measures into own hands. So now they're like, oh my God, they're stopping the money. Like, well, duh, bitch. Like, what were you expecting? Like, there's nothing that can be done at this point because if you read in the motherfucking contract, they would have told you, in the event this is standard language. In the event that something happens, we are not liable for blase blase blase.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure that language, when if publishing PCH got sold, was in the contract as well. So I,
Mm-hmm.
I I want the absolute best for these people and their absent mindedness. At the same time, if nothing else comes of it, I wouldn't be surprised because these companies will protect themselves more so than make sure you get
sure.
your money. So
Some of them may have invested though. They just really talked to this what, two people. I mean, one guy says he was didn't work and now he's having a hard time. But I mean, they haven't talked to all of them. Maybe some of them did invest, and it won't be as big a blow, depending on the amount of the prize that you won.
yeah, but of
So
course this story got the most clickbait based upon the
hmm
amount. So
yeah,
we know how this should go.
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Oh
Them
well,
broke. Mm. And they ain't getting paid out either, child.
Child, I
nothing
was
but
just
the
like,
most recent winner.
yep.
Right, right. The ones from 2015. I mean 2025.
Yeah.
Mm.
Listen, that was like one of my
Oh.
biggest dreams, honey. Other than becoming like a world famous actor, I think my second biggest dream was to Publishers Clearinghouse knocking on the bitch's door, saying, "Hey, bitch, look what we got for you," and I'm
Didn't
gonna be like,
cost you
"Oh my
nothing.
god!"
Didn't cost you
Right.
nothing to enter. Then they send you all these emails. You enter it every day and clicking. No, I don't want this. No, I don't want that magazine. No, no, no. Just enter me. Yeah, yeah. They had people really going for it.
I can envision the commercial of Auntie one way a scarf and his Maybelline picked on Maybelline on the
oh,
commercial talk about he won. It was a funny visual, I must say.
Oh my
oh,
god.
the
You know, and
expression when he opened the door.
baby, oh my god, honey, with an apron on, honey, with some biscuit flour all up on me, like, oh my god, oh my god.
Not biscuit flour. The visual is killing me.
Well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. And again, a special thank you to Moderna Militia. And that's how I'm going to hashtag you when I, push the hashtag topics of the show. I'm going to hashtag Moderna Militia. But special thank you for Moderna Militia to come in and talk about his experience being featured on Beyonce's website. Oh my God, I'm still gagged off that one. So thank you so much for telling us about your experience, telling us the tea about that too. You know how you had to block that woman out with
That
that
woman.
fan.
Hmm. You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
And did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea that I might have missed before we head out?
So I have a question, right? So Moderna, does this mean you're gonna be featured on Act Three, or can you not say nothing yet?
Ooh.
You know, Beyonce loves the NGA to party with the queen.
That's right.
Yeah, I figured as much. I thought we can get something out. Oh well, we'll just wait and see.
Well, when we do see our friend in Act 3, HUD, I'm gonna be like, oh my God. Hopefully we can invite him back for another interview, if he's not too busy. But y'all, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can make the live show. Until then, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.